Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we're going to be looking at the subreddit r/choosingbeggars, where people are way too picky when it comes to asking for free stuff. So, I let you have the bigger rental space and you put your stuff in mine, cause yours is too messy? For backstory, a few years back I had a lot of trouble finding a flat, since it would be my first one and had a job barely covering my expenses. I was unbelievably grateful to get a small rental flat from a nice lady who was renting out for the first time, since her aunt died and inherited the 2 flats she bought. This included a bigger flat the aunt was living in, a smaller one right beside, she rented out, 2 storage spaces and 2 parking spaces. The original renter of my flat moved to the bigger flat the aunt was living in, and even though my storage space would have been the bigger one, since it was planned out to be the one for my flat, I agreed to just take the one of the aunt, since it saved time and hassle for my neighbour and would allow me to plan to move my stuff in earlier. This same neighbour also left the flat pretty dirty, but as I said, I was just happy to actually have found a place to live in. Another important thing to mention is that these storage units are not very secure. They are really just see-through fences that are covered up with random pieces of wood or old doors and cardboard to provide some privacy. The locking mechanism basically rusted away, so it was easy to open it up, even though it was still locked. Another interesting fact is that one storage unit that is completely see-through was standing completely empty and unoccupied due to reasons I don't know. It's not locked and free for anyone to enter. Fast forward to a few weeks prior. My boyfriend is now living with me, and for his birthday he gets a €600 laundry dryer from his stepdad, and due to place issues in the flat we have to put it in the storage space. We didn't think anything of it, since our apartment complex is mostly privately owned by nice old people, so we didn't worry at all that someone could try to steal it. However, one nice evening, my boyfriend returns bewildered from collecting the laundry off the dryer. "Did you get new tyres for the car?" "No, why?" "Well, there's a set of 5 new tyres in our storage." After a bit of investigation, we see what happened. Someone had removed the chain that semi-fixed the rusted lock, moved our €600 dryer aside, further into our cramped storage, put their new set of tyres in and reattached the chain. We instantly put them out of our storage and reattached the chain properly and permanently. But now there is one question. Who broke into our property? Now, my boyfriend knows a lot more about cars than me, so he notices that there was a new car in the otherwise empty parking spot of our neighbour. He seemingly got a car. The tyres are the exact same as the ones that appeared in our storage. So my boyfriend knocked at my neighbour's door and asked if he might have noticed someone breaking in the storages last night. The neighbour actually got the audacity to tell him that it was in fact him and that he wanted to notify us but forgot it. And that his storage is too messed up and it would have been his storage anyways, so he figured it would be okay. On why he didn't just put it in the free unit, he actually told him that anyone could access that. Why he thought that nobody would be able to enter our storage the same way he did was beyond me. I was livid as my boyfriend told me about this, but he wasn't finished telling me about their conversation. My boyfriend is a fast-thinking person who, if need be, could think of excuses and make up points in no time at all on the spot. So, in order to give that guy a tiny bit of a lesson, he told him something like this. "Oh, then you better collect them from there fast. We already put the tyres in the for free section on Facebook. There were 2 people already interested." The choosing beggar neighbour then goes supposedly pale in the face at this point. My boyfriend promised to take out the ad that never existed in the first place if he would get his tyres away from our storage now. Even though I would have gone ballistic on that guy, I had a fair laugh at his expense and the tyres vanished not 2 hours later from the entrance to our unit. Saw the guy in the hallway yesterday. He didn't dare to even look at me. Smartest thing he did in a while. How a choosing beggar busted herself. This happened several years ago, when an acquaintance liked to pull ridiculous crap on others. Eventually, she got busted. The group I hung out with would regularly meet at a restaurant. Choosing beggar used to be a part of the group until she stopped paying dues, so she no longer received meeting notices. However, she got around that by calling the restaurant until she learned when we made dinner reservations in the restaurant's meeting room. The first time she showed up, we couldn't really object to her being there because it's a public restaurant. After she ordered the most expensive meal on the menu, She excused herself, saying she had an appointment. We thought she paid for her meal on her way out. At the end of our meeting, as we were settling our group tab, we discovered that the choosing beggar stiffed us. We were forced to pay for her meal that night after she was long gone. We were irated, to say the least. The next time we had dinner reservations at the restaurant, we arranged to have separate orders instead of a group tab. Lo and behold, choosing beggar shows up and, again, orders the most expensive meal on the menu. When she was informed that there were separate checks instead of the group tab, she had the most sour expression on her face. Too bad. When she finished eating, she told us she would be back in a few, as she needed to answer nature's call. That few stretched out to where we started worrying that she might have taken ill. It's happened to me. A friend and I go to check and discover that the restroom is empty. I asked a restaurant staff person if she had seen choosing beggar and described what she was wearing. The staff person informed us that she saw choosing beggar leave. This woman had pulled a dine and dash. Once again, we were stuck with her expensive tab. This time, we were livid. The third time she showed up, we were prepared. She did her usual of showing up, uninvited, ordering the most expensive meal again, and then attempted to leave, again, after she finished eating. This time, we blocked the door. She got told she was going nowhere until she coughed up the money for what she ate. The excuses she tried to hand us were stupid. She's entitled because she's a founding member. Nope, pay up, but she didn't bring any money. Too bad, we're not paying for her again. She started literally begging and got turned down flat. I had already paid my tab and was getting ready to head on home when choosing beggar got in my face, begging me to feel sorry for her, etc. She tells me that if I pay for her meal, she'll pay me back later. Yeah, right. I pointed out to her that she knew she was coming to a restaurant that charges for their meals. She knew that each member pays for their own meals. She has no excuse for showing up with an empty wallet for the third time in a row, expecting us to always pay her way. And I am not paying, since she has made no effort to reimburse the group for her previous instances of dine and dash. I called her a liar and a thief to her face. She's panicking and asking what she's gonna do as she has no money. I told her to throw herself on the mercy of the restaurant and hope they don't call the cops on her for theft of services and food. I walked out while she continued to stand there and panic. I don't know how the restaurant dealt with her. Choosing beggar never showed her face again after that. I can understand them letting off the person like the first time, maybe she left because she was ill or whatever, but letting it get to 3 times is just stupid. Choosing beggar's stepsister wants free housing. Let me set the stage. My dad got married to a new wife about 5 years ago. She has 3 daughters, the youngest of which is a 26-year-old, slowly working on college and is still living at home with mum and my dad. From what my dad says, she never helps to do anything around the house, is a complete slob, and has 3 insane dogs that are not well trained. I'm a 36-year-old, father of 2, 3-year-old son and 2-week-old daughter. I live 5 hours away from dad and visit him a couple times a year. I never stay the night at his new house because I don't feel at home there. I have never been close to my stepfamily. At most, we make awkward small talk for the few hours a year we visit with each other. I don't really have any animosity towards them either, we're just not close at all. Here's the begging. A couple days ago, I loaded my family into the car and we brought new baby girl down to visit grandpa. At the very end of our visit, when we are getting ready to leave, stepmom and stepsister asked, "Oh, by the way, can stepsister come live with you for a month or 2 this summer? I guess she has a class at college near me and they won't let her dogs live on campus with her. I don't understand why it would be 1 month or 2, but it's indicative for how little information I got about this request. I found out the information about the dogs in school classes from my dad later. I just kinda laughed and said, "Huh, you don't want to be living with a screaming 3-month-old this summer." To which stepsister replied, "For free I do." Wrong answer. Whoever said living with me would be free, or that I would allow your 3 dogs to come. I let them know it wouldn't work for us. Sadly, I definitely feel like a douchebag, but I also have boundaries. It's an awful place to be put in, especially with a toddler and new baby. I would gladly put up family in my home if there was a crisis. She's not hard up for cash. Her parents both have money. She has a good paying job. I mean, she just came back from a Costa Rica trip for spring break. The only crisis here is she's used to having a free room and board and doesn't want to have to pay for an apartment where they allow dogs, or figure something out so she can stay on campus. There are plenty of apartment buildings that will allow month-to-month rent. You don't need to come freeload off me, and I don't really need my wife who stays home with the kids to be a dog sitting service all summer either. Thanks, needed to get that off my chest. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you did, then remember to leave a like on it and subscribe if you aren't already. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out some of the playlists that I created on the channel. But thank you again and I will see you very soon.